So you saw how the barrier moved when the Badger players just touched it slightly. Because of the floor and the accumulated BBs, these covers can actually be quite light and mobile, meaning sometimes a light tap would just move the whole barrier. It is what we have to run with, but this also means that players can't completely lean onto the covers to minimize their silhouette like other fields. Good use of the yellow flag by Mori to get the players' attention.
Hey, William, it's me and you left. Me and you. Watch that side.
Good comms on Badgers, unlike most other shoutouts where it's like unilaterally shouting out, into the abyss. You're not really sure if anyone's hearing you. But here, the Badgers player called out the other players by name to get his attention and then communicated his field info. So that's a very successful shout out and communication right there. That was a very textbook cleanup, so SAF just dominated apes on that one. Very aggressive play by Apes. Didn't really pay off as he just ended up trading with the SAF player, but kudos for trying. Oh, still have a player left. SAF got 2 penalties, but they managed to get a live hang, so that should make it a little bit easier. Now, I see some players who just turn their torches on prior to breakout and just leaves it on during the whole duration of the round. I don't think that's a good idea. You just end up telling your opponent where you are facing and where your gun is pointing at. Use it sparingly. I myself actually don't use enough gun light, but anyways, maybe I'll make a short clip more on that in the future. One of the ways that Neon had found in working with SlimJim was to physically move up and bump him to let him know that the lane is clear and that he's covering him. During our OPS team drills, I had told them to try to avoid clumping together, but they said this was more effective in a way of communication, and it looks like it did work quite well. So there's that.
去你裁判那边。
Good job on HYDRA for pushing the castle. People often focus too much on the snake as a flanking route. It is the most viable point of action, but the castle side actually offers a good angle with significant cover as well to initiate a flank. So, you know, don't forget that. Woo! A very good push on both flanks simultaneously. Again, don't underestimate the castle side. So here you see KSJV Kev relaying comms about how their snake is out. Very important, very important. You need to relay that information to the team, and once that info is out, react and adjust your formations accordingly. So yeah, either you push on one flank or both. Once you've successfully vied for that real estate, then you've created more angles of attack on the opponent. Don't just run out from initial breakout and just have all 5 players set up shop and camp, right? The flanks should always apply the pressure to poke for opportunities to bump up. Moving up just one cover will create a world of difference when it comes to angles of attack. So yeah. So right here with the Badger player in the back looking down the snake lane, he could have communicated to the snake player to bump up. There's no need for two players locking down one lane, especially if one of them is a snake. The snake needs to apply that pressure by constantly competing for that real estate.
Go to your left.
So yeah, really good push here from SAF, pushing through the castle side, not once but twice. So yeah, good play.
Hey, two. Castle. Castle's out. Back left. Back left, back left. He's at the X. X middle. He's right there. He's still there, he's still there.
Grab him.
You're up.
Go grab him. He's out. Hey.
Yeah. I didn't see something. Snakes out.
Very methodic cleanup by Badgers, and these kids are young. Scary to think what they'll be like in the game 10 years from now, so whew. SlimJim, our snake player, utilized his space and cover quite effectively. Rather than hunkering down in the snake and waiting for the other snake to peek out, he pops over the top and begins acting as a back and shouting out. APES trying to hold on valiantly, but couldn't stop the OPS onslaught.
去你裁判那边。
Ooh, that was a close exchange in the snake.
去你裁判那边，去你的裁判那边。
So that's Puppy here. He had gotten into SpeedQB, which led him to paintball, and now he trains quite hard on the paintball side. The skills required for these two sports are actually very interchangeable. So yeah, he's got a lot of room to grow. So HYDRA's wider. He's actually just recently moved to Taiwan from Hong Kong. Made a very aggressive play here at the X. After he grabbed the flag, he flanked around and tried to take out the opposing flagger. Very bold move. So I actually talked to him afterwards, and he said that he had observed the other team, that their backs usually wouldn't be looking in that direction. So he made that gamble, right? High risk, high reward. This move would be justified if it was the opposing flagger that has got the flag, right? So you're going around taking that risk to take out their flagger to prevent the opposing team from the 25 flag control points, right? But in this instance, he has the flag, but then he goes around, in which case the risk is too high. The chances of the backs looking your way is quite high at the beginning initial breakout. So he just traded with the other player, but then he prevented his own team from getting the flag control 25 points. Looping out to the other side of the snake would be very dangerous initially right off the break, but this stage of the round is a very good way to show up at a different place than what your opponent is expecting. Don't get that tunnel vision when you're in the snake. Think about other possibilities whenever you can. It's not just one way down that lane.
Go to your refs， 去你裁判那边哦。
Interesting, neither team had dedicated a snake player for this particular round. Good switching up the positions on Soland's part. Their X moved to the lateral pillar, while another player came and ran up the snake. SAF captain Mikkel straight up rushed the last remaining Soland player. There you go, very good. KSJV Kev saw their snake was taken out, shouted out, then moved to fill in the void to cover this lane. Since most players are right-handed, the side with the snake lane on the right side tend to have more impetus to push. So when the snake is on your left, you're essentially usually defending the highway. So when you see the snake player out, you need to fill in that gap before the opposing side floods through.
1, 2, 3, push!
APES player here hanging on bravely but just couldn't hold. Also, notice how his legs stepped out every time he peeks. That's something that I mentioned before. Playing SpeedQB, you're playing a game of sharp angles and tight spaces, so we need to mind them limbs, right? Especially our legs, because they're the ones that tends to poke out.
Good job.
Iman and Sushi try to roll on the castle side, but Sushi gets taken out. But it created enough momentum to allow Project Pat to get a live flag hang. Good finish by Badgers. I think the Badgers flagger front could have tried to rush and support when he noticed his teammate is in a firefight. So OPS got slapped with a DPC, dead player communication, when Pro Pat verbally called out hit. So this is something very counterintuitive compared to us playing regular scrimmage games where you just call out hit all the time. So here, can't do that, right? In the competitive environment, you don't want to look like you're communicating to your teammates after your hit. So just raise your hand and just jog out. I think APES had a good start, but HYDRA eventually prevailed. Again, like I said, HYDRA is a new team, but is made up of mostly veteran players, so they're a tough nut to crack. Yup, again, HYDRA finished quite strong, and this will wrap up the preliminaries. SAF did end up challenging Badgers on a previous play, and the captains voted on an additional no call on Badgers, and they were penalized additional deduction of 25 points. With that, the final scores are as follows, and we'll be looking at the top 4 teams going into the finals. So HYDRA and Badgers will be vying for 3rd place, while OPS and KSJV will be fighting for the 1st.